Hello, everyone, and welcome to Faith Life Rising. My name is Misha, and this is my YouTube channel. I love sharing with people all things about healthy, loving relationship and how to detangle from unhealthy relating habits and dynamics so that way healthy relationship can be a possibility in all of our lives. And I also really love to talk about God and relationship with faith and trust and our overall connection to our soul. So if you are interested in these things, you're in the right place. So today we're going to be talking about what healthy relationship really is. And if you are still looping in some old patterns, old unhealthy dynamics where you feel like your relationships are not very safe or skilled, you might want to watch the last video that I did. Actually, it was a couple of days ago, but it's titled How to Detangle, to begin the process of detangling from unhealthy relating dynamics. Today, we're going to be focusing on healthy dynamics and what they really are. And I love focusing on this so much more than what the unhealthy relating dynamics are. But I know it's important to talk about what unhealthy dynamics are, because then it can help you to identify and begin to make the changes that you need in your life. Healthy relational skills have saved my life and changed my life and has brought me to new levels of inner peace and a lot of joy actually in my life. So I would love to continue to share with you everything that I've learned and to continue to share what I learned on this journey. Healthy relating dynamics, what are they? What a great question. Healthy, loving, relating dynamics. So I first want to talk a little bit about how I actually share this, because there's so many teachers out there that are sharing about what healthy relationships truly are. And there's a lot of really great stuff out there. I'm going to talk with you a little bit about the 4 tenets that I like to focus on as a foundation. So the first word is healthy. And to me, healthy means that we are aware that we are in relationship with other people. And maybe we're in relationship with ourselves or our inner child. Maybe we're in a relationship with God and we're connecting with our Creator. But whoever it is that we are building a healthy relationship with, healthy for me in my world means that we are aware that there is a skillful listener and a skillful expressor. And this might seem really elementary and almost human skills 101, and it actually really is. But we've never been taught these things. So we've got to bring it back to basics when we start the process of creating healthy, loving dynamics in relationship. After we've been, really lost in the quagmire and in the confusion and in the pain and the suffering and all the looping of unhealthy dynamics. So as you begin to detangle, you will begin to make space for healthy relating. So in healthy relating, there is a consciousness, there's an awareness that there is one person that is the skillful listener and one person that is the skillful expressor. Again, this is for people that are passionate about healthy relating and they want to break free from unhealthy dynamics. And this is an important part of just separating those two roles, because a lot of times in unhealthy dynamics, you might experience yourself in reactivity mode, or you might experience yourself judging or comparing or criticizing, blaming and shaming. Now, I've done this and did this for a really long time in my relationships. And so I know what it's like. I really know what it's like to be trapped and looping in those unhealthy dynamics. But the good news is that there are other tools and understandings that are applicable and they're simple. But it doesn't mean that it's always easy, especially as you're starting to detangle from unhealthy dynamics and move into healthy dynamics. But the first thing that I want to share with you is that there are two roles: the healthy listener and the healthy expressor. The healthy listener is someone who is ready to listen until the other person feels completely understood. Skilled, healthy listener is someone who is truly wanting to understand the perspective and the experience of the person who's expressing themselves. And that listener, is also practicing patience, slowing things down, and also being in service of the person who is expressing themselves by mirroring and putting together the pieces of the puzzle for that person, especially if the person expressing themselves is expressing something painful and really traumatic for them. It can be a great service to someone who is expressing themselves for you to show up with your skillful listening heart and your skillful listening ear. Now, if no one ever really truly listened to you when you were a young one, it may be really hard for you to feel confident and skilled and like you can really be in service of someone as a listener. But the good news is that you can make changes, you can learn, and you can grow through the process of becoming a skilled, healthy listener. If you are working on becoming a skilled, healthy expressor, you are going to be practicing certain understandings that include becoming aware that sometimes your expression is going to be maybe too much for the person listening to you, which can be the case sometimes. And this is something that I had to learn because for a long time in my life, I had a hard time expressing myself. And so when I did find someone that would listen, I would just kind of like start pouring it all out and it would just come tumbling out. And for some listeners, if they're really skilled and resourced, they can listen to someone speaking for hours. But if you're speaking to someone who is not as resourced as a listener, you may begin to overflood their nervous system, and you may even experience that they can't take so much information in. So when you begin the process of learning how to be a healthy, skilled expressor, you'll want to take time to really check in with the person who you are expressing with and ask them, especially if you want to share something that is sensitive or something that is painful for you, or if you're needing some support, you can always just check in with the person that you're connecting with. Do you feel resourced right now? And is now a good time to connect? These are just two simple things that a skilled expressor can begin the journey to make changes in their own experience of healthy relating. The next word is skillful. Skillful has everything to do with connecting with yourself and with others and with God in a way where there is skillful seeing, skillful hearing, skillful validating, skillful appreciating, and skillful celebrating or encouraging. Those are 5 things that healthy relationships are typically practicing on a daily basis. And when we're talking about seeing, hearing, validating, appreciating, and celebrating or encouraging, you can use those 2 words interchangeably. We are really talking about presence. And you can even use those skills as you start to move from unhealthy relating to healthy relating, really being present with someone. Now, it's really hard to actually give to another person seeing and hearing, validating, appreciating, and celebrating when no one has actually given that to you or you've never received it before. And this was the case in my life. I needed to learn first how to do this in my life because I was literally in a community and in a family that did not ever really listen, and they didn't know how to skillfully be together. So this was a journey that I took, and now I teach others, and I'm happy to be sharing it here with you. So write those down, get those down in your journal, write those words down because they can be reminders as you begin the process of building really healthy relationships in your life. The next word is honoring. And I like to use this word honoring because a lot of times when we're stepping out of unhealthy relationships, we're becoming so aware of all of the things that were non-honoring and that we had been minimizing or somehow making excuses for, or even just completely oblivious to how unhonoring those relationships truly were, or how disrespectful those ways of relating were, both in ourselves and with other people. And so, it definitely takes two people to create an unhealthy relational dynamic, because once two people become aware of what healthy relating is, one healthy relator will not want to really become super close and intimate with an unhealthy relator. That's, in the case of someone who might be dating. Of course, you may be in relationship with your family or certain friends that want to remain in unhealthy relating or unhonoring relating dynamics. But as you begin the process of detangling from that, you are going to really learn and stand in your value and stand in your birthright to experience honoring relationship. Honoring means that we're practicing accountability, reliability, and reciprocal connection. And basically, this means that we're holding ourselves accountable for doing and saying, or doing exactly what we say, and showing up responsibly, holding ourselves accountable in a way that, will acknowledge when we haven't actually upheld our agreements with people. So that way trust can be maintained. And reciprocity, where we are in this natural give and take between two people, and it's not becoming one-sided. These are three important parts of an honoring relationship. So we've got healthy, we've got skillful, and we've got honoring relationship. And then the last word that I like to talk about is loving. And I know it might seem pretty obvious. Of course, a healthy relationship is loving and it needs to be loving. But when you're breaking out of unhealthy relational dynamics, that word can tend to be a really important word to hear, that yes, I deserve loving relationships. I deserve loving relationships. And I also want to learn how to love other people in a loving, warm, and soothing way. So a loving, healthy relationship is one where we are connecting to the part of ourselves that wants to nurture the other person simply because we really love them, not out of duty and not out of obligation, but simply because we really love that person. So we want to do whatever we can to nurture them. Another thing is anchoring in this feeling of reliability and stability. The nurturing part of us that shows up in relationship tends to be the more feminine side of us. And then when we show up in a really stable and consistent way, we are bringing more of these masculine qualities into the relationship. Whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. It just is the awareness. We're focusing on the awareness of nurturing and stability that you can bring into a loving relationship, both nurturing qualities and stabilizing qualities of consistency. These are the 4 pillars that you can begin to integrate into your relations. And if you'd like to receive more information about healthy, loving, skillful, honoring relationship and how to release yourself from unhealthy relating and make brand new connections with yourself, with others, and with God, I would love to connect with you. I am a root healing guide and an inner family foundation coach. And I also work with a lot of faith-based people who are strengthening and fortifying their relationship with God. Even for people that have experienced some sort of spiritual or religious trauma and you want to renew your relationship with God, this can be an excellent place to start, because I can support you in this way, right from your relationship to yourself, through with other people, and with your faith. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I would love to hear if you have any questions or comments. And if you can click the like button, subscribe, and share with anyone that you think may benefit from hearing this video. I would love it if you could share. We want to spread this word. I want to spread this word as far and wide as we possibly can, what truly healthy, loving, honoring, skillful relating truly is. And I am a firm believer that the changes can happen in any family dynamic or community, because I have seen such tremendous change in my life, in my family, and in my community. It is in relationship where most of our most intimate woundings have happened. So let's start creating healthy relationships and begin to heal relationally together. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow in the next video.